truly get to the point where we said enough's enough, we can bring about change. How many of y'all heard about the last young man that was brutally beat by the police in, I think it was in San Diego, riding his horse that he had stole? But he had already been on the ground with his hands behind his back before the police started beating him. He was already being tased before they started kicking him. And two were already beaten up on him before the other two jumped in. And they said that from the helicopter, they had counted over 37 kicks with over half of them to the head.
That's terrible.
So why is it happening? From those who we have placed in position to protect us. Why is it happening? It's because there's this assumption that because if they at least say, I felt threatened, it's okay. Well, I walked around with a handgun for longer than I carry a handgun now. But in the military for 26 years, I carried a handgun, but I had to use deadly force. So guess what? With 26 years carrying it, I never fired it. Because I wasn't in a position to exercise deadly force. The police shoot a man 8 times in the back. But his call goes, wounds to the chest. Well, probably an exit wound. It's because, and I love the police. So I got family members that are on the police force. But wrong is still wrong.
Amen. Yeah.
And we have to stop accepting just any story. There should be a thorough investigation, not from within your department, but an external department. How are you going to put a person who's a recovering sugar addict in charge of a candy store and not expect something to leave? You can't. And so you can't police yourself. You got to have people from outside sit back and view the tapes, hear the evidence, and then make a legal decision. Just. So what's justice? It's not just us, believe me. Justice is doing what's right, no matter who it is. That's what justice is. Justice is supposed to be blind. That means that no matter what position you're in, no one is above the law. Justice. Justice means that we are going to measure this thing by the law. And then we will either execute punishment or grant mercy. That's the way it's supposed to be done. People died for us to have it that way. And so all I'm asking for you to do tonight is before you close your eyes to sleep, whether you do it like me sometimes, I just lay in bed, talk to God. Before you close your eyes and sleep tonight, ask God, what would you have me to do to bring change? That's all. What are you going to ask God?
What would you have me to do to bring change?
That's it. Now it takes a lot of testable fortitude to do it. But at least ask. And if you don't have the do ability to do it yourself, empower somebody that does, so that change can happen in the right way. I want America to once again be a Christian nation. I want America to once again to be feared by other nations outside. Not because we're the bad bully, but because they would say, what is this nation doing that we're not doing, that we need to do? I traveled a lot in the Middle East, I couldn't go with my wife to Israel last year. You know why I couldn't go? Because I traveled a lot in the Middle East. Listen to that. I couldn't go with my wife to Israel because I traveled a lot in the Middle East. I would have had to get rid of my passport. Because if you have a stamp from Israel in your passport and you go to any nation within Israel, you won't be allowed to enter the country. What kind of craziness is that? Well, if all of the Middle East can do that to one nation, imagine what's going to happen when they start paralyzing the world. And it's going to happen. How? Because tyranny thrives when good men sit back and do nothing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for an opportunity to share with you. Is there anything you want me to talk about? but God said, this is what you're going to talk about. This needs to go out. And I will post it on Facebook tonight. I will post it on YouTube. Because I'm not happy with where we're going as a nation. I'm very disappointed. I feel that my 26 years of having my life on the line has been wasted. My son now wears the uniform and has been wearing it for 7 years. And I don't want my son wearing that uniform to be wasted. Some of you got family members that are wearing the uniform. Some of you, can I see the hands of every veteran in here? Look at that, look at that. I don't want your time to be wasted. I get upset when I go into any facility. I say, do you have a military discount? No. What? You're in one of the largest military communities. You don't have a military discount. That's why we don't have one. Too many of y'all. Something kind of wrong with that. Because if we stop coming to your establishment, you'll fold. And I just think that we need to give honor to where honor is due. That's what the Bible says. Give honor to where honor is due. And every service member, male and female, needs to be honored for what they have done for this nation. And it's such a travesty when people who have not worn the uniform attack those who have. Such a travesty. I think we can change it. We can bring a change. One person at a time. I no longer try to save a city. I don't try to save a city. One person. Because you never know if that one person has the durability of reaching thousands. So you just go one individual at a time. David Wilburn is doing an awesome job with this truth that transcends, which is why I second the nomination of him becoming the vice chair for the GOP here. And I think that we can make a difference. I'm the only Republican in my family, but my family is all Republican. Now, that sounds crazy, right? So between my mother and my siblings and my father, they're all Democrats. Okay? But my household, kind of like Jeremiah, Joshua, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And you know what? I never push any political agenda before my children. They voted with their moral compass. And that's what made them Republicans. I like what you said, because it's true. The Republican Party's not doing all that it can either. And we can do a whole lot better than we are doing. When I go to an event and I'm the only chocolate chip there, something wrong. Something wrong. I'm talking about Hispanics and Asians as well. Something is wrong. This party is supposed to be well diverse. You know why? Because we said we're a Christian nation. So if we're a Christian nation, it's not just Caucasians.
Right.
Y'all hear what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If we are truly a Christian nation, there are a lot of Native Americans I know that are Christian. Right. Living well. A lot of them. We just need to start bringing change. Don't accept again. I stopped supporting a good friend of mine. I didn't even vote for him in the last election because I was disappointed in him. You're going to know who it is after I say this here. There's no way you can tell me that every single thing that this president has put up, you felt you had to vote no. That's not good. That's not good, because there's some good things that were put up there that you voted no on just because of who he was. And that's not why I voted to put you in office. I voted to put you in office to do what's right for all of us. So in your area, your constituents are both Democrats and Republicans. So when you cast a vote, you don't cast a vote with your own personal agenda. You cast a vote based on what's good for the people you represent. And that's what we have to start holding these people's feet to the fire on. Yes, ma'am.
Should we write out a personal letter and say I mean, you know, they don't answer their phones.
Ma'am, here.
They don't always answer their phones. And how can we, I really want to talk to Corey Gardner.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really upset with him.
Okay.
Should I write a letter to him? What would...
There are two ways you can do it. Very good question. There are two ways you can do it. You can write a personal letter, and you can even start a petition. Your petition is going to go a lot further than your letter. And you just add that petition to your letter. And once they see that there are other people that feel the way that you feel, they'll change. They'll change. I've been invited to do something. I need y'all to pray for me. I was invited to do something on the 19th of May. I'm going to teach in a Bible study in Washington, D.C. to senators and congressmen.
Yeah.
And I want you to be in prayer for me that God gives me the right things to say to them while we're there. I'm going there for the wall builders, for pastors. I'm going there for that, which takes place the next day. So I was asked by Senator, I can't say his name, but I was asked by him if I would come a day earlier to do a Bible study for them. And I said, I'll do that. I'll do that. And God made it so that not only was I able to get my ticket changed without any fee, without any fee I was able to do it. And that's when I know God did something there. But the hotel cost that I'm going to stay in the next day, I got that first day for half the price than it would be for my next day. So I know God's involved in that. So keep me in prayer with that. And if your congressman, if your senator is not doing what you feel you voted them to do, remind them in the beginning and the closure of your letter. I put you there, I can take you out. You hear that? You know, parents used to say, I brought you in this world, I take you out. Let your leaders know the same thing. I put you there, I'll take you out. Yes, sir.
And Congressman Doug Lamborn's office is one floor above us.
That's right,
For
they're
those
now in
of
this
you who would
building.
like to know, he is one floor above us in this building. Congressman Doug Lamborn. So if you want to go see him, he's his office is right upstairs.
And they do have an open forum where you can go in there and voice your concerns. They do have an open forum for that. And if you rattle the chain loud enough, you'll get a response directly from his Washington, D.C. office. If you rattle the chain loud enough. No longer, listen to me, my fellow Americans, let there be not another day you sit back and feel that you have to be force-fed what your government is pushing down to you. That's why we have a Constitution, so that we don't have to do that. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much.